Hey YouTubers, Mike Martins here with the Mike Martins channel. Guys, thanks for joining me and being part of the channel and discussing ongoing events and current events and people kind of leaving their opinions and comments in the comment section. I really appreciate that. Today we're going to head back down to Australia, down under, because right now China and Australia are in a economic war. It's an economic showdown versus China and Australia, and I've been looming on this. I've been talking about this. I've been discussing this for a good while now. So let's get to it right now. So if you're living down under, please share this video because it's kind of important, because a lot of people are waking up and coming to grips with an economic takeover. You don't got the money, you can't play. You can't play, you can't participate. You can't participate, you're left outside. And that's what's happening. And it started with Australia's housing market. It actually technically started with the mining sector in Perth, and then the housing market in 2012-13, and then it started taking off from there. So let's take a look at what's happening here, because this is a major deal. So here it is, guys. So here's our first article from a few hours ago. Australia's economic dependency on China will not change, says former ambassador to Beijing. So here it is. Australia is likely to keep suffering economic harm from repeat rounds of Chinese economic coercion. So basically it's sanctions that are being put on Australia from China, and needs to find a way to reset the relationship, a former ambassador to Beijing has warned. The problem is it's really hard to reset a relationship, one, with a communist country, which they should have been dealing with since day one. That's number one. Back in the 50s and 60s during McCarthyism, if you were involved or known to be dealing with communists, they put you in a dark room with a light in your face, asking you a bunch of questions and why you are, or who you've been sending messages, or who you've been dealing to. Let's say back after World War II, Australia started doing business immediately with China. Guess what? Australia would have been considered an enemy of the state. But now it's okay, because the war's been over for a while and people change. But I don't think so. Seafood exports and the largest industry group to report distributions in accessing the Chinese market. Joe Farabi says the Australian ambassador to China from 2007-2011 said Australia needed China more than the other way around. No, you see what I'm saying? With global trade and tourism, especially tourism with Australia and all other things, Australia could have been a really good country if it kind of stuck to its guns way back in the day and didn't binge on foreign wealthy investing. We'll get into more here. So let's move on. China-Australia relations to ban 400 million Australian wheat, $400 million in value of million Australian wheat imports looms. Wheat exports from Australia expected to join the list of already contains barley, sugar, red wine, timber, coal, lobster, copper, and copper concentrates. So here's the deal with this. Okay, let me keep reading. The escalation in tension between China and Australia started after Canberra pushed for international inquiry on the origins of the COVID. So anybody that steps in and asks for origins on, or wants to ask something, or just kind of step out of the, say, hey guys, let's find out where this came from. Maybe we could nip it in the bud, find out, once we get the origin, maybe we could find out, blah, blah. That's it, you're done. Basically, it's like somebody comes into your, like my shop here. Somebody would come into my shop, break it, would come in with me in here, take a few things, whatever they want, and walk out. One day I get tired of it and say, I'm going to call the cops because I'm tired of this. I call the cops, and then the people that come and rob me start penalizing me for calling the cops on them. So that's what's happening right now between China and Australia. And Australia is in a really precarious situation. Again, we're going to get into that. So China is expected to ban imports from Australia wheat, putting a 560 million trade in doubt. So I'm pretty sure, because now we are in the information age, Australia could sell a lot of wheat to Russia. Australia could sell a lot of wheat to India. Australia could sell a lot of wheat to Europe. Australia could sell a lot of wheat to Brazil. There's a lot of countries that would buy Australian wheat. So, and it's good quality wheat. They don't have to, you know what? If I was Australia, I would say, oh, okay, we're not going to ship you wheat. We'll suffer, but we'll find another way around this. And then when China comes back and says, oh, we want the wheat now. No. You said no in the first place. We found another buyer, and then China will put more sanctions or because China wants to play the big player, they'll start threatening war with Australia. Because even though China said it in the first place, Australia keeps to their word, finds another buyer, and guess what? China comes back and then threatens war because of what China said earlier, and Australia going by their word. That's how it works with China, guys. So let's keep going here. Again, China-Australia relations import ban on Australian copper. This time, copper. Sugar expected after blocks on lobster, timber, and barley. So China's banning everything. So there's probably a Chinese wine store there. I guess China has banned imports from Australia, timber, Queensland, and suspended barley imports from a second grain exporter, while Chinese importers are also bracing for a new round of bans on copper and copper concentrate as well. So China needs copper more than Australia does. So here's the deal. If Australia could stick to its guns and has a strong leadership and say, nah, we're going to sell our copper to Brazil because Brazil gets more gold than copper, or countries that need copper more, and or we're going to give our wheat to the Philippines in exchange for something, you know what I'm saying? And then that's it. Australia's going to have to suffer for 2 years, but I think the citizens of Australia could handle suffrage for 1 or 2 years because they've been suffering already, and already like kind of setting up a way where they could say to themselves, where we're going to do this, but we're going to keep Australians employed and we're going to keep housing in Australian hands, right? Okay. So let's keep going on here. So here goes. China's ban on Australian coal causes surge in imports from Mongolia, but difficulties remain. Beijing's ban on Australian coal has resulted in increasing imports from Mongolia, meaning the country could retake its position as China's top supplier. But Chinese users could bear a brunt of Australian ban due to higher costs from alternative transport difficulties and a drop in quality. So there you go. They're going to start importing in from Mongolia. Chinese steel mills and power stations have started buying more coal from Mongolia after Beijing imposed a ban on imports from Australia. So basically, if China wants to create this economic storm with Australia, China goes to war, like say, China looks like they're gearing up to go to war against Taiwan. Fair enough. But if the whole world strangles China and not give them any more, Canada would be like number one. What do you need, China? We love you, China. But other than that, I could see all other countries jumping on board and basically shutting down any trade with China if they do declare war, looming war or looking to take over Taiwan, right? I could see the rest of the world participating except Canada. But that's okay. The rest of the world is big enough anyway. So here's an article. This is a very important article. Fears 1 million Australian homes could soon be owned by foreign buyers. So this started again in 2012, 2013. Australia is selling off natural resources, farmland, and property to China. Let me just pause that there. At a crazy rate, putting us at risk of becoming the 24th province of the East Asian behemoth. So I'm going to read this in an independent video too, just to kind of throw this out to you guys, to make sure you guys understand what's going on, but I kind of wanted to throw that out there. And I'm going to throw this down here as an independent video for later. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Look at this. Look at this video I put up that got flagged twice, and I put my necks on the line for everybody. Will Australia exist in 30 years? Trends in the housing market. Australia is falling from 2 years ago. Lots of videos here. Can Santa save Australia? Australian housing story. Like, there's so much I've done and so much I've put in. And just forecasting banking disasters. Talking about specifics. Australia interest-only mortgages to be stung. Almost nobody watches these videos, but I just really hope that people could come out and about and kind of see the effort I'm putting in. Here it is. Would Australia exist in 30 years? You want to watch that video. It's kind of important. It just keeps going on and on. Even some famous videos like this one. Housing crisis, Australia, get out of Sydney. This video is not 3 years old, so this is actually 5 because I haven't lived here in many years. So this is a very old video. So I don't know what YouTube is doing when it comes to date stamping things. I don't know if they're moving dates around. I don't know if they're allowed to. I guess they want to do that. I guess, I don't know why they would do that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Australia versus China, economic Economic war is where it's at right now. They're at their economic differences, and Australia has more to lose for the short term, but China has more to lose in the long term. And yeah, we're gonna see where this goes from here. Again, there is war looming in gearing up defenses. China's gearing up defenses, or gearing up, or I guess maybe strategically flexing its military muscles just to show Taiwan that it could take it over in a swoop or something. But you know what? I think that the entire planet would sanction China and see, except Canada though. And yeah, we could figure out a way to help Australia out of this. Let me know what you guys think. Lots of love. Subscribe, and don't forget to be part of the channel and comment below. Thanks for watching.